Well, hi everyone. Welcome to Intro to Search Engine Optimization. I'm Dave Taylor and I will be teaching this class. Search engine optimization is something that is very unstable as a world. Used to be that there were just a set best practices list, but even that is something that Google itself has said, it's really hard for us to keep up on all this stuff because we got different teams doing different things at different speeds. And then there's the rumor mill. And then there's what they'll tell us versus what's actually going on. Let's talk about building an SEO-friendly site. And I will reiterate that, as Google tells us, a useful, information-rich site, and have everything linked back and forth. But there's obviously a lot more best practices. And there are two categories of SEO. There's on-page and off-page. And on-page are the stuff that's the easiest to do. Those are things like, what words do you use in your title? You're in control of your pages, so these are the things you can do starting later tonight. Off-page are things like, are a lot of people sharing my content on Facebook? That's a lot harder to do. Are people linking to my new product from their blogs? That's a lot harder to accomplish. So that stuff we'll look at a little bit later, but a lot of stuff that I really want to cover today is really about, let's make sure you're doing all the basics, the SEO 101 stuff. And if you can do all of that, you're really well on your way to ranking well. However, I will highlight something I said in an earlier slide, is you don't just generically rank, you rank for specific searches. Right? So if I am that pizza place at the corner of Arapahoe and Broadway, which actually is an intersection and used to have a pizza place, then I don't want to rank well for custom socks. I don't want to rank well for my cat is sick, can you help me? Right? That would be a fail on the search engine's part. And if I did rank for a search like that, I would really have to look at the content and say, what's on my site that's giving Google the clues that makes it think incorrectly that I'm a good match for a sick cat? Right? We all have a tendency to move into jargon and specialized languages, and it's very efficient. And the place you most see this is when you go to your doctor. So how many people have gone to their doctor has described something to them, and you're like, what? Can you just say that in layman's terms? And then they describe it a different way, and you still have no idea what they're talking about, but now you feel too stupid to actually say, well, I guess I'm not a layman. Can you describe it again? So you're just like, you're cool. It's like, okay, now I get it. And then you go home and like do Google searches or something. Doctors, for reasons of precision and efficiency, have a very, very complex specialized language. And it works really well for them, hopefully, theoretically. We all do this in every industry. In every industry, you go talk to someone who's like a mortgage professional, and they'll talk in code about different kinds of structures you can do and different ways you can finance things and different ways you can balance interest rates and points and all this sort of stuff. The problem with all of that is that it's fairly likely your customer doesn't know your specialized jargon. And so the more you're an expert, the more you're like the thought leader in your whole industry, the more likely you are that you're not in alignment with how your customers are looking for your service or product. As an example, if I'm a wedding photographer, people are thinking about weddings. They don't really care about f-stops and apertures. So I would be making a mistake if I built a website for my wedding photography business and just talked to the technical side of the photographs.